This is Earl Amin with the 2020 Foresight Podcast, where CEOs of small to global companies share their insights. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because top CEOs know how to listen and be concise. So let's get to it. First of all, welcome. And in just a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
I am Park Howell, and I am the founder of the Business of Story, and I help leaders talk good. And what I mean by that, Earl, is that I teach storytelling in business. Most leaders communicate and they care, but they don't always connect with their people, their customers, and their communities. Therefore, I teach 3 proven frameworks on how you can hack through the noise and hook the hearts of your audiences.
Wow, that was a nice story. Thank you. Well, in your story, tell me what's the best thing about being the CEO of your story?
Well, I get the freedom of getting myself in all kinds of trouble. And what I mean by that is I've worked for myself for 35 years. I run my own ad agency for 20 of those years and started the Business of Story about 5 years ago. And Earl, my wife and I just moved from Phoenix, Arizona up to Northern Arizona in a new house we built, our dream home. I've got an office there. I get to do that because I'm the CEO of Business of Story. And working through there, working out my Wi-Fi and internet issues. And now what I find myself is coming to you from Flagstaff, Arizona, in a small office in a gym that my niece and her husband run because their internet is working today and mine isn't. But as the CEO, I get to make that decision.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And as well, I hear from other CEOs that, being the team leader and being able to see the road ahead can be difficult or challenge. What are your thoughts?
It is. My reason for why I do what I do is that I am into contribution. I want to contribute to my clients' lives, and I want to contribute to the lives of those people that work for me. So before, when I had a large ad agency, Park&Co, I had full-time employees. Now I work with a whole team of amazing 1099ers. But I am always looking to give them work where they can find their flow, where they can do their best work and really play to their skills. So while I am looking, at the road ahead on business development, whatever, I'm also peripherally looking at the road ahead for the people that help work with me and help make Business of Story successful. Because if I'm not making them successful, then they're not going to do much for me. I think business and everything else sort of takes care of itself if you apply your skills and your ingenuity and your industriousness to bring in clients and then take care of them. But you've got to make sure that you take care of your people first.
Indeed, and agreed. Well, you sound like you're a guy who's been around for a while. You know some stuff. So what piece of insight do you want to share with other CEOs?
What I have found is, they say give 110%. My dad said, you don't really need to give 110%, don't kill yourself in the process. But I kind of boil it down to the 100%. 50% of it is showing up and the other 50% is following up. And Earl, in this day and age with COVID and people are so distracted and exhausted, and understandably so, I get disappointed in the lack of follow-up that I see in many professionals. They will call, they will ask for insights, they will ask for proposals. You will provide the work product for them. Of course, their hair's on fire when they call, and then it's crickets. Sometimes you get ghosted. And it is so disheartening to see our fellow professionals. And I get it too. I understand because it's hard out there right now. It is really hard, both personally and professionally. But I want people to not drop the ball on that single 50% of following up.
Yeah.
And to me, I think you got to show up like I am here with you today because my internet went out. I drove 15 miles and I love it because this is what I do. I do what I say I'm going to do. But boy, I just would really caution, execs out there, do not use COVID as an excuse. It's an opportunity to go out and really build something, but you got to stay on top of your game.
Wow. All I can say is you nailed that one. All right. Thank you. So In your career, I imagine that you've interacted with other successful CEOs like yourself. Who would you like to acknowledge and should be on my podcast?
Oh, hands down, Aveen Sethi Tafoya, the most brilliant CEO I have ever worked with, the kindest CEO I've ever worked with, the most visionary CEO I've ever worked with. She, for about 12 years, headed up Clinica Adelante out here in Arizona. I came in and with my team, we refashioned their brand story to Adelante Sustainable Healthcare. They were really struggling in 2008, 2009 because of a number of things, including the global recession back then and whatever. And they had 4 clinics and were almost ready to go out of business after 33 years. She came in, resurrected it. We redefined their brand story, and Earl, they grew by 600% over the next 8 years under her tutelage. They went from these 4 clinics to, I think they ended up, last I heard, they had 9 or 10. 6 of them are LEED certified. They are running the only platinum LEED certified clinic in the country. And she has done a marvelous job of expanding. And their whole goal is to make healthcare available to all, regardless of your ability to pay. And she has done that unbelievably well. And she has left there about 1.5 years ago, looking, and doing some new projects out there. But she is such a humanitarian, such a brilliant physician, and a brilliant MBA CEO that I would be honored to introduce you to Aveen. You would love her.
Thank you. We received that. All right. Excellent. So let me ask you just a final question. How do you celebrate a win?
Well, that's a good one, Earl. Yeah, I feel, I probably celebrate it internally more than, and I should probably celebrate them a little bit more externally. A big win for me, say for instance, I've been pursuing a piece of business and I really wanted it and I landed it. I will come up to my wife, give her a big hug, say, yes, we got it. And that will last for about 1.5 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, face on, what do I got to do? How are we delivering here, and here, and here? I need to get better at celebrating those wins.
All right. Thank you for your honesty in that. It's a pleasure having you on, Park. How do people find you?
Visit me over at businessofstory.com. And if they'd like to email me, it's just Park, P-A-R-K, at businessofstory.com. I produce a weekly podcast I have for almost 6 years now. It's ranked among the top 10% of downloaded shows in the world, called Business of Story, where I interview story artists from around the world to help leaders of purpose-driven brands learn how to craft and tell compelling stories that sell. So those are the best ways to find me. And of course, I have my new book that came out June last year, Brand Bewitchery: How to Wield the Story Cycle System to Craft Spellbinding Stories for Your Brand. And you can get that on Amazon, both print Kindle version and Apple Books.
Outstanding. This is Earl Amin with the 2024 Site Podcast. For more insights, go to LinkedIn and search for The Gray Owl Company. Park, a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Earl.